evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Eugene London Sr. gets a street named after him. Former Mayor Lane Curley addresses the current board, and Motlow has been accepted into a national network. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. Then she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. So this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Hey, Tullahoma! Stop by McMurr's for all your personal and business needs. Copying and finishing service. That's black and white and color copying, 1 to 1,000. Scan, print, reduce, enlarge up to 36 inches. Brochures, carbonless forms, design services, foam core mounting, fax service, comb and coil binding, lamination up to 40 inches. Wedding services include wedding invitations, wedding programs, and napkins. That's McMurr's, 101 West OG Street, Tullahoma. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. McMurr's.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. At last week's Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen's meeting, former Tullahoma Mayor and Alderman Lane Curley addressed the board.
Good afternoon. I appreciate this opportunity to say what's on my mind. In just a minute, I'm going to offer 3 pieces of unsolicited advice. But first, I'm going to offer why I believe I'm uniquely qualified to offer this advice. First, I've sat in your chairs a total of 23 years, 18 as mayor and 5 as alderman. That's 23 years altogether. That's more than all of you combined, save a couple of years, as best I can figure. Second, I've been on the Tullahoma ballot 16 times, spanning my time as mayor, alderman, and state legislator, and was elected 16 times, spanning 31 years. Does that make me special? Of course not. But I do believe that record says I know Tullahoma folks pretty well. And I believe I can say with confidence the great majority of the people of Tullahoma do not like what they see and hear from their elected city leadership at present. So here's my advice to start getting Tullahoma and this board mayor and alderman back on track. First, in my opinion, you are not managers of city government. I fully recognize that you have fiscal and legal responsibilities as it relates to our city government. You have one employee, and that is the city administrator. It is entirely appropriate you define the expectations you have of the person you have selected to hold this important job and hold that person accountable. But let them do their job. Do not micromanage their efforts and do not interfere with their day-to-day work. You are the mayor and alderman. You are not the mayor and alderman of city government. You are the mayor and alderman for all of Tullahoma. The city government is but part of the fabric of Tullahoma. There is so much more, in my opinion, the 7 of you could and should be doing to move Tullahoma forward. Each of you should be out in the community making good things happen for the good people of Tullahoma. Use your leadership skills to make Tullahoma a more green community, a more fit community. Work to address the housing shortage in Tullahoma. Work to design a community so our young people want to return, remain, or relocate and raise their families here. What are you doing to help position Tullahoma as an arts destination? What are you doing to make Tullahoma a more clean and attractive community to inspire pride in our community? Nearly 60% of the 3rd graders failed their reading proficiency test last month. What are you doing to support our teachers in their efforts to achieve excellence in education? Your jobs as our elected leaders should be to address these challenges and as leaders create opportunities. Think strategically. Leaders make things happen. Look at the bigger picture. Are you thinking regionally in the areas of tourism, economic development, and infrastructure? Remember, you are community leaders, not managers of city government. Second, during my 23 years on this council, I have no recollection of an agenda item for a BMA meeting with only a caption and no exclamation behind it. When a member does that, it is not fair to other members and the public who have a right to see, understand, and ask questions prior to your vote. Third, if an agenda item pertains in any way to city government, the city administrator should offer a recommendation in the agenda whether or not he or she supports the agenda item and why. Please remember the city administrator is the manager of city government, not the 7 of you. If the agenda item expends money, the city administrator must identify the source of funds. The purpose of these last 2 suggestions is to streamline the meetings. If you read the agenda item, concur with the contents, and the city administrator's recommendation, that will move the meetings along quicker. In summary, leadership is not easy. I understand that. You are our elected community leaders. Think bigger. Leaders encourage, leaders educate, leaders inspire, leaders challenge. I challenge each of you to rise above what you see and hear on the 2nd and 4th Monday nights during these BMA meetings, act like leaders, and start getting good things done for the good people of Tullahoma. I am ready, willing, and able to assist any of you to help get Tullahoma back on track. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Craig.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me at Life Care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
One thing about Parkview, we could bring our animal out there with us.
It would have been a deal breaker if we had not been able to take Gracie.
Yeah, we would not have gone.
If you want to do something, there's something to do most of the day. You shouldn't get bored.
I really enjoy my life here at Parkview. I really choose what I want to do. We have a wonderful library with hundreds of books that I love. It is a wonderful place.
Welcome back. Tullahoma resident Eugene London Sr. was honored with the renaming of South Wall Street to Eugene London Sr. Street, and news leader's John Gray was there.
Looky here. If that right there is not the face I wanted to see this morning, I guarantee you.
Wonder where y'all get him.
You're my friend, and this is a great, great thing that's happening today for you. You can't think of anybody that deserves it more than that gentleman right standing in front of me right there. All right, the notables are showing up. We have all kinds of fine people here today for this wonderful event. We've got the mayor back there, and Antonio's here today. Antonio London, our NFL linebacker and Tullahoma star when he was here playing for the Tullahoma Wildcats. And it's closing in on time. It's 11 o'clock when this is supposed to happen. Look at there. There's Frank Glass right there. You talk about a notable cat. That dude right there did so much for this community. And he's here to watch another great Tullahoma citizen get his acclaim.
Thank you all for coming out. We couldn't be honoring a more deserving person than Mr. Eugene London. All the years that I've known Mr. London, he has smiled at everything. It didn't matter if he was throwing somebody out of the game, or if he was throwing technical fouls. He still had a smile on his face. Had no problem with that, did you? I'd like to recognize some of the people that are in the audience tonight. We do have Mayor Ray Noes with us today, which was speaking early in a little bit. Alderman Derek Mann, Alderman Kurt Glick, Alderman Jerry Mathis. I'd also like to thank the Tullahoma Police, Fire, Parks and Recreation and Public Works for showing up. Very deserving and appreciate you. Mr. Lynn Seaborn, the TAEDC Board Chairman, appreciate you coming out. And also Commissioner Jackie Duncan, glad to see you, which was also a former alderman with us.
Well, it's certainly an honor for me to be here and make this proclamation for this well-deserving gentleman. I want to tell you before I do the resolution that I've known Eugene London Sr. since 1968. That's a long time. We ran up and down the basketball court with a strappy shirt on for many years. And when you went to a sporting event where Mr. London was officiating, you were going to have a good time. He was going to make it a good time. So with that, I just want to say I'm honored to be here and congratulations on your recognition. So with that, let me read the resolution that we passed, our Board of Mayor and Alderman passed last week. Naming Eugene London Street. Whereas the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee recognizes the contributions of Eugene London Sr. for his 50 years of loyal and dedicated service to the Tullahoma community as a sports icon in his many positions. And whereas Eugene London Sr. was inducted into the TSSAA Sports Hall of Fame in 2006 and the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame in 2022. And whereas Mr. London served as a member of the United States Army and later in the Tennessee National Guard. And now therefore be it resolved by the city of Tullahoma and Tennessee as follows. Section 1, Board of Mayor and Alderman here wishes to recognize the contributions of Eugene London Sr. by renaming South Wall Street to Eugene London Street. Need a hand on that. The address holders and 911 emergency service will be notified of the change and that the change will take place effective upon the posting of the appropriate street name sign. So be it further resolved by the Board of Mayor and Alderman of the City of Tullahoma, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage of the public welfare requirements entered in the state of 12th day of June 2023, San Ray Norris Mayor. So with that, I'll present this to the honoree.
I want to thank Joe and everybody that had anything to do with it for thanking me to do this, but it was actually my honor to be able to bring this forward to name this street after Eugene London.
And we'll have more of the Eugene London Sr. street naming after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
Welcome back. We now conclude our story of Eugene London Sr.'s street naming.
Now we have a little information to share with you that you probably did not know. Everybody knows Mr. London. All of the young people in this area know that he wore that striped shirt running up and down the courts like a 16-year-old young man. but he can do other things. You don't have to always ask the second time. When he heard about the fact that we were going to have Governor Bredesen's wife, who loved to see children advocacy centers set up for children who had problems of molestation and just different situations in Tennessee. So when we got the information that we could set up one here, we had a lot of work that was put out before it was done. This lady, a member of Church Women United, served as the advocator of getting it done, and we as members followed. I happened to be the president at the time, and I tried to drive them as hard as I tried to get my students in high school, not the college students at Motlow, but the ones in high school to do their job. So we put out information that we were going to have a long walk led by the mayor's wife, and we did so. So my friend in Church Women United is going to tell you exactly what Mr. London did. But aside from all that, I am a close friend of the family. One of the girls, Sylvia, was my student worker at Motlow College for many years, and we remained friends. So now, listen to Miss Bunny Watts, please.
In 2004, Eugene was one of our first supporters for the Children's Advocacy Center, which we started in Manchester. And in addition to all of his other activities, he walked with Andrea Conte, who was at that time, Governor Bredesen's wife, and they went ahead, and she was an advocate, and she went ahead and had her goal was to walk 600 miles across Tennessee, which she did. And that was to raise awareness for child abuse and to raise the money in order to support this. And many local walkers dropped out of the program, but Eugene was one of 3 who walked 24 miles with Miss Conte from here in Tullahoma all the way to the Warren County line. And Eugene, we would like to thank you for your continual support of the children's advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. So I got a little speech we put together. Friends, Romans, oh, wait a minute. Wrong speech. No, but on the serious side, I'm so proud of you, Daddy. I am. It's amazing that at 52, there's something else I found out you've done. And as long as we keep on living, there's probably other things that we do not know that you've done for others outside of your own family, Diddy. And I want to say thank you so much for that. My English teacher is probably not here, but I'm going to say this and get on out of here. I couldn't be more prouder to be your son. And I think I speak on behalf of Yvette, Sylvia, Monica, Eugene, and myself and Jeffrey, that we're so proud that you gave us what you gave us, and we thank you for sharing you with everybody else as well. We completely appreciate that. I want to take the time to say I love you in front of everybody else. Daddy, I think everyone else here loves you and appreciates everything that you've done, not just for the London family, but the Tullahoma community and everything else that touches this area. We thank you so much for what you've done.
Now here's the unveiling of the Eugene London Street sign, right there with all of his family behind him and beside.
And we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Motlow State Community College announced its acceptance to the nationally recognized First Scholars Network. Motlow's acceptance into the network reflects the institution's demonstrated commitment to improving the experiences of first-generation college students and working to advance their success. The Center for First-Generation Student Success is a globally recognized partnership initiative led by the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators and the Suter Foundation. Powered by the Center for First-Generation Student Success, the First Scholars Network is a four-phase approach that allows institutions of higher education across the country to advance student success by establishing communities of practice and gaining deep institutional knowledge of success-fueling resources. Dr. Sarah E. Whitley, Vice President of the Center for First-Generation Student Success, said, quote, "Through the institution's application process, it was evident that Motlow is not only taking steps to better serve first-generation students, but is prepared to make a long-term commitment and employ strategies that foster an environment of success for this important population," end quote. Motlow just completed the first phase of the First Scholars Network by demonstrating program readiness. After successful completion of the network member phase, institutions progress to the second phase, First Gen Forward, after which Motlow will be eligible to become a First Scholars institution. First Scholars is the third phase of the First Scholars Network and serves as the Center's customized approach to intentional institutional transformation in an effort to advance student outcomes. As a new network member, interested faculty and staff are afforded opportunities to engage with peer institutions also working to create environments that improve the experiences and success of first-generation students, and will now participate in monthly collaboratives, professional development, goal setting, blog development, annual reporting, and more. Dr. Belinda Johnson, Executive President of Motlow Student Success at Motlow State, said, quote, "Being named a network member of the First Scholars Network is an exciting opportunity for Motlow to join a dedicated community of professionals. We are excited to be a part of the 2023 cohort of institutions learning into the national imperative. We are confident that Motlow will be a significant contributor to this initiative that looks forward to being a national leader in meeting the unique needs of first-generation students in Middle Tennessee," end quote. To learn more about Motlow's available learning opportunities and student success initiatives, visit motlow.edu. And in other education news, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee made an announcement about new school safety grants.
Hey Tennessee, I want to take a moment to talk specifically to school leaders across the state. Nothing is more important than making sure that Tennessee students and teachers return home from school safely every day. Since 2019, we have done a lot of work to secure schools, but we're not done yet. We have a unique opportunity this year to invest in strengthening school security, and we want to make sure that schools across Tennessee have the information they need to access these important resources. This year, together with the General Assembly, we passed our school safety bill, created two important grant programs. The first will provide funding to place a full-time armed SRO in each public school, and the second will provide critical funding to make physical security upgrades at public and non-public Tennessee schools. We want schools across Tennessee to know that they can apply for this funding now and we hope that you'll encourage others in your district to do so as well. School leaders can visit tn.gov to learn more about how schools can use this funding and about important application deadlines. We can all play a part in keeping our schools safe, and we're excited to partner with you to further strengthen school security.
And stay with us, your weather forecast is coming up after these messages.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in the event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1944 at 98 degrees. Record low was in 1902 at 45 degrees. The average high for this day is 86, and the average low is 65. Mostly cloudy for tonight with a low of 59. 30% chance of storms for Friday with a high of 79 and a low of 60. Sunny skies expected for Saturday with a high of 87 and a low of 64. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe and have a great evening.